It's Toxic Radio, and 'tis the season for frightening masks, demonic voices, and men in heavy face makeup.
I'll swallow your soul!
And you might even see some people trick-or-treating, too.
Swallow this.
At Toxic Radio, we do Halloween just a little bit harder. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Hey, buddy. Raw. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is a place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man?
Hi, it's Steve Morrison from the President Steve Show, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Get infected like you would with a cheap hooker.
What's up? This is Whitney Payton, and you're having your ears penetrated by Toxic Radio. Dub P.
Welcome to Paradelphia Radio. This is Rick Pruitt once again here in the Toxic Studios. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Doug Hogate.
I am. We're back.
You're
We're
back.
back again. Well, we are.
We are.
I mean, you know.
Back in action.
Yes, of course.
Back in
We
action.
got to give people the teach. You know how they say in a relationship you got to stay away from each other sometimes so you have a chance to miss each other? Well, hey.
Yeah.
I miss you a lot. I dream about you, you know.
Frankly, you haven't stayed away long enough, though. Give it another 2 weeks and we'll see.
Okay, gotcha. Not dreaming of me yet, I see. All right.
So before we get into anything, I got a bone to pick with Mr. Mike, Toxic Mike in the studio here.
Boner to pick. All right.
A boner to pick with you, Mike.
All right, what do you got?
Because he does this to me. He's done this to me for 2 or 3 weeks in a row now, and I think he's trying to set me up. To like crack up during the intro.
Every time, I know what you're about to say.
The stinger right before we go on air is the one by Steve from Preston and Steve, where he promos Toxic Radio and says, "Get infected like you would from a cheap hooker."
Yes.
Steve Morrison.
And
yeah, right.
and every time it plays, it cracks me the frick up.
Right.
It's the best stinger station
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
Whatever. It is the best one we have, and truthfully, whenever you're in the studio, like I just have this urge to play it every single time. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of our best. I love it. I'm
And-
so honored that he was in our studio with the guys no longer doing their show, Sin Escape, and it was awesome. He loved being here, so it was awesome.
And a fun fact too, back when I was in college, I did an apprenticeship at WMMR.
Oh.
And I worked actually with he actually just recently passed away due to COVID, but I worked with Sean Teisler, Sean the Rabbi. He was their music director. And I did some work too with Pierre Robert. He listened to a lot of stuff that, like, assignments I had.
Yeah.
And they actually let me sit in on 2 morning shows, the Preston and Steve show. Like, each time it was hilarious. But
Why
I
isn't
met
it-
him a couple times, and
Why isn't it Preston and Doug?
I was gonna fight him out in the parking lot. But I figured I'm trying to get like a degree here, I'm trying to get, some education, so I figured, hey.
They just kept saying, "Don't touch that button, Doug."
right, yeah. So
Don't touch that, Doug.
Plus, I knew I was going to meet Rick one day, so.
I got it.
Yeah,
It was destiny.
Exactly.
Destiny.
Yeah,
All right, so we are in the thrall of a Halloween season once again.
I still can't believe it. Not take Halloween out of it. That we're October. Like, we're almost 2022 already. Like,
don't speak of it.
I still can't get over it here.
Don't speak.
Christmas is about to happen,
Oh,
you
my
know?
God. My sister posted something online today. She's like, anybody wants to go drink hot chocolate and watch Hallmark Christmas movies. I'm like, are you freaking insane?
I was at a Walmart earlier today, and they had a freaking Santa Claus up. And what Walmart was it? I forget.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, it was
ridiculous.
It was the first one I seen. They had a whole Christmas section up already. I'm like, my God.
They can't wait.
Yeah.
So we're in Halloween season, and tonight, what I was going to try and do was to have our friends from our favorite magazine, Scary Monsters Magazine, join us. But they are hella busy.
I'm sure, yeah.
Out in their new place in, I think they're in Arkansas now. And they are doing bang up business apparently down there because they said they love to do it, but they just literally can't find the time.
Right.
So, but I did want to let you guys know that their latest magazine is going to hit the shelves. If it hasn't already, I think they said it's going to hit in mid-October, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a week from now, if it's not already out there. It's issue 123. 123. It's their Halloween issue called the Harrowing Halloween issue. And just like last year, they have a glow-in-the-dark cover. I remember doing this on my porch last year when we were doing shows remote due to COVID.
Oh, right, yeah.
And we had them on. And I had the magazine sitting under a light in my living room.
Okay.
And I had to run in during a break, and I brought it out and turned all the lights out on my porch.
Trying to hurry up and show the example of it, right.
And show the cover.
Right.
So that's going to be coming out. If it's not out already, which it might be. Sometimes they send it out a little bit early, but I think they said at the latest it should be out like middle of the month.
Right.
But yeah, again, can't say enough good things about Scary Monsters magazine.
Yeah, they're always great to have on, and they've always been good. I still can't get over that fact that I looked in one of the magazines and it was a picture of me inside of it.
Is that from the Preston and Steve show?
No.
Like 1995?
I think they got it from Facebook or something, but it was in the magazine. It was a picture of me holding the magazine.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, this was a couple years ago, but I was shocked when I saw it. I'm like, oh, I'm in this magazine holding the magazine.
Yeah.
So
you should have had you write up an what do they call that? A testimonial.
Yeah, what I was doing at that moment.
Right.
So
funny story, Mike. You're a wrestling fan, right? This has nothing to do with paranormal, but it's just a funny story. You like wrestling, right?
Yes. Wrestling's been a hot topic this week. I don't know what's been going on, but yes, I love wrestling.
Well, I've always been an old school wrestling fan from way back in the day when I was a kid with Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter and all those guys. So my buddy and I, we've been he's crazy into it, but he's into this new AEW.
Yes, AEW's,
I've seen that. Right,
it's amazing over there.
Because they hate all the guys that were rejects from WWE. Don't they go there or something like that?
Well, yeah, kind of
in a sense.
AEW,
like Dustin Rhodes and Gold Dust and all that. Anyway,
WWE has been releasing a lot of their talent. And yes, they've been going over there.
Yeah, because I think Chris Jericho's there. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
So they had a show in Philly last night.
Yes, they did
at Lycor Center on Temple campus. So we went. Taryn and I went. My buddy Dom and his little boy.
I saw that you were at something. You tagged it on Facebook. Yeah.
So and we've seen this. I've seen this posted a few times on social media today. So this may not be news to some people, but it was freaking hysterical to watch happen in person. We're watching the show, and it's obviously a wrestling match. It's not not a basketball game. But in the middle of this wrestling match, the entire crowd of like 10 or 12,000 people starts chanting, "Fuck Ben Simmons." Fuck Ben Simmons. It was hysterical.
It's just random, like and
it happened 5, 6, 7 times during the show. And these people were pissed. Like they weren't having fun. They were like, people around us were like commenting and getting into it.
Oh yeah, right.
My boy better not step in Philly.
I was going to say, I guess not.
He may not survive. There's it's AEW action on screen.
It's funny. Would you mention in wrestling on Peacock on television? It's got like all the NBC shows and everything.
Yeah.
They actually have. I watched wrestling from like 5th grade, probably till 8th grade. I mean, that was when like there was the Attitude Era, like with Steve Austin, The Rock, Mankind, all them guys. If you go on Peacock and look up WWE or when it was WWF, they have all the Raws from back then. I've literally been watching the Raws from like 98 and 99, and I've been watching them in order with the SmackDown, because SmackDown started while I was in the middle of watching it, and then I watched the pay-per-views that were on back those. I mean, in fact, I told my dad, I said, I bet you're pretty pissed knowing years now I could watch it for free instead of spending $50 every month on it, but like you know, it's been pretty neat because I remember some stuff and that whole attitude era. I mean, I don't know much about what happened anymore, but
There's been a few spoilers since 1998.
yeah, I would say.
Have you guys? So the biggest topic, and AEW is a big topic. CM Punk just went there.
Yes.
Oh wow!
All
really?
of the big guys, the big names in the underground have been going there.
Right.
It's really growing steam really fast in the past year. But what's been a hot topic has been this Dark Side of the Ring.
I love that show.
I
Oh
was
my
curious
God,
if you guys have
yes.
been watching that. They
I
have
have.
won the airplane ride from hell. They've done Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. They
they've done
did
all
Owen
of them.
Hart.
Yeah.
Owen Hart. Because I remember, in fact, I just about a week ago watched that pay-per-view where he died. It was in 1999. You know, where he tragically fell, and yeah, I mean, I actually watched it. It was like on YouTube a documentary on how AEW started. You know, with the Road, not Dusty Rhodes. It was his brother, younger brother, Cody. He kind of started it with the two other tag team partner things or whatever.
The Young Bucks and the
Young Bucks.
The money man behind is this guy named Khan or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's got all the money and the vision behind it, and he needed the guys to run it.
Yeah,
so
they did
Young
it.
Bucks.
I mean,
Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Chris Jericho are the top guys that are running it.
Right. I mean, hey, and they're doing it. I mean, when I first watched it, I'm like, oh, what is this? But it's a regular thing.
More people paid attention to them than WWE.
Yeah,
Suck it, Vince.
But it was funny last night. It was hysterical to watch that. And,
Right.
and now today I saw, because my buddy's like, oh, you think that they'll pick that up? Do you think people will hear about this and talk about it on like WIP and whatever? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I literally got home from the place and social media had it all over social media.
Of course, yeah.
Everywhere. Well, the big story on my timeline for that, not only seeing all my friends that had gone and being like, damn, I wish I would have gone, but Blue Meanie showed up. And for anybody who doesn't know who the Blue Meanie
that
was,
sounds familiar.
Blue Meanie was from the ECW days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
And-
remember him.
And I'll bring up a picture of him just for people that are watching to see. Now, the Blue Meanie,
he used to wear Eric Cartman shirts and stuff
sometimes
like South
he would
Park
wear that,
shirts,
yeah.
yeah.
and ECW days, and he showed up there. He's a little bit older now, and he is a Philly Jersey guy, but yeah, he showed up. It
Oh,
was
is
a
he?
very
Wow.
big deal.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, because that was ECW did like cross promo with Jerry Lawler and all that. Yeah, like I said, I've been watching my time with saying it lately, and it's just neat. It's like taking me back.
All right, let's bring this back around to our main, not our main topic today. Our main topic today, we're going to talk about in a few minutes, is something kind of strange out of California. We talk again. It's Halloween season, so I wanted to try to find something a little strange, a little creepy.
Yeah.
So I found something called the Fresno Night Stalker,
Yes.
or Stalkers. Fresno Night Stalkers. So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. The first thing, though, before I get into that, I have an article here that I came across. It's always curious to me when you hear about famous people that actually buy into various aspects of the paranormal, whether it's UFOs or ghosts or whatever.
And I love like they have that show, Celebrity Ghost Stories. I don't think it's on much anymore, but on demand they have like.
So on Live Science, there was an actually an article that says they found 13 people who believe in aliens.
Interesting.
13 famous people that believe in aliens. Some of these you've heard of, some of them I've heard of, some of them I haven't heard of. Maybe some of our younger listeners would have heard of them.
Okay.
Third of them. First one, everybody probably heard of him, Winston Churchill.
Okay.
Winston Churchill was known for his political prowess. But at one point in 1939, he penned an 11-page essay on alien life, revealing his curiosity about the universe and outlining his definition of life and its most important ingredients. Part of this essay read, I, for one, am not so immensely impressed by the success we are making of our civilization here that I am prepared to think we are the only spot in this immense universe which contains living, thinking creatures, or that we are the highest type of mental and physical development which has ever appeared in the vastness of space and time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which he was a big government guy, so it just
he was the Prime Minister of England.
That's what I mean. So it had me wonder: did he know more than was this like a little hint?
Next one, I don't know whether she actually believes in aliens or she just wanted the
attention,
the attention and the click and the clicks.
I have the list up right now.
Hey, there's Melly listening. Hey, Melly, hope you're feeling good. Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah.
Apparently believes in aliens. She said, or it says, in 2015, Khloe Kardashian saw strange lights in the sky and tweeted, quote, "Kendall and I are spazzing out, hashtag UFO."
Okay.
Now, again, they were probably drunk on vodka.
Or
and looking,
amongst other things.
and looking at garden lights.
Yeah, right. Be like, look how close it is.
But whatever. Next one, Hillary Clinton.
Another interesting, hey.
She has a long political history advocating for children and families. However, during her 2016 bid, she turned her attention toward the paranormal. In a radio interview and then later on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Clinton said she wants to review files about UFOs and the mysterious Area 51. She's quoted as saying, "I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible. If there's nothing there, let's tell people there's nothing there."
I mean, but come on. I mean, again, is that just some kind of political way of just trying to throw people off?
Bill, if you ever heard Bill Clinton is funny. He's one of the most like forthcoming ex-presidents you'll ever hear. Like if you hear him interviewed now, he's just like, dude, whatever.
Oh my God, Melly and I are watching that American Crime Story. The guy that same guy that created American Horror Story, and it's on the Clinton Lewinsky thing right now. But yeah,
he sounds like he just like smoked a bone, and he's just chilling, and he's like, yeah, man,
he's
whatever.
A Southern guy. I don't care. Whatever.
So you ask, you ask him about, or these interviewers ask him about UFOs, and he's like, yeah, I tried to find out, but they wouldn't let me know.
Right. Because again, the president is a temporary employee.
He's like, I really tried to dig into this when I was president because I was curious and because I thought it was could be a national security risk.
Right.
And he's like,
I
feel
like they all do. I feel like they all, like, I mean, I know if I was prepping the first thing, I'd be like, well, somebody just tell me, like, did they talk to him once? Even if it was one, but, yeah, again.
This next one, I have absolutely no idea who this is.
Yeah.
I think maybe some tween girls might know, possibly.
Yeah.
I
have no idea.
Someone named Zayn Malik. Does that ring a bell, Mike? Do you know who Zayn Malik is?
Z-A-Y-N.
So apparently, he was in the band called One Direction.
I've heard of One Direction. I do know that because I know Colette, Melly's daughter, is obsessed with the one guy from it. But yeah.
Well, apparently the One Direction was off a cliff because I've never heard of this band.
Yeah,
so.
that's this. I do know One Direction. I've heard of them.
Anyway, he wanted to go solo after a paranormal encounter. Quote, "An alien spoke to me in a dream."
Hey, Mike, you might know him. Maybe Mike does know.
Yeah, you may know him.
Y'all have
what
been
is
up
that?
there.
Is that him?
You've been up there together.
Is he having his hair sucked up by a jet plane?
That is him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he looks like. I only know what the one guy from One Direction looks like. I don't know what the rest of them do.
See, this is why you have to tune into the YouTube show because Mike puts some of this ridiculous pictures up, and it's funny as hell.
Yeah. Just go to the Toxic Radio or Paradelphia Facebook page, and you can watch.
Let's see. The next one. This one I don't know either. Gigi Hadid?
Yeah. No.
Hadid? In a recent space-themed photo spread for Harper's Bazaar, Hadid posed at the controls of a spacecraft in front of massive rockets and rocket engines and on what's made to look like the lunar surface.
Oh, she was on the moon.
In the interview, Hadid revealed that she and Malik, which is she her girlfriend?
They're together?
I guess, whatever. She and Malik both believe that alien life exists. Quote, "My boyfriend's really into aliens."
Well, there's the answer. They're in a relationship.
But the quote, the most interesting quote they could pull from this nitwit is, my boyfriend's into aliens.
Really in, so I guess that means I will be too.
Yes.
What's an alien? I seen she was a model or something.
The next one I've heard of, and every time I hear her name, I think it is a drink that you order at Starbucks.
It's I know this. I know who she is.
Ariana Grande.
Yep, Ariana. I do know that.
Ariana
Grande.
I would like an Ariana Grande with milk.
She's one of those singers that started on Nickelodeon and then became famous.
She described herself as obsessed with aliens in a 2013 interview with Complex magazine.
Oh, jeez.
"We'd be so stupid to believe we are the only people here." It makes me feel dumber to know that these people actually are following and believing the same things that we're talking about.
Say, thank God they're giving some clarity here because I don't know where I'd be right now.
There she is. She looks like she's got. Good Lord. Just let's move on.
Moving on.
Ridley Scott.
I do know Ridley Scott. Yep.
Which, this one I'd believe. Famous film director Ridley Scott is no stranger to the concept of alien invasions and hostile encounters with extraterrestrials. His 1979 movie, Alien, explored the scary concept of aggressive extraterrestrials that target the crew of a spaceship. While promoting in the new film, Scott wore... I've skipped ahead here too far. He's doing apparently a prequel to Alien called Alien Covenant.
Oh, wow, really? Oh.
Or, I'm sorry, let me back up. This must be an old article. This says May 19th, 2017. So I guess this movie is out. It has been out.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard of the movie either. But anyway, so the movie was out in 2017, and he said while he was promoting the movie, he warned that hundreds of alien species are, quote, out there, and cautioned that humans likely won't fare well if these cosmic interlopers ever decide to pay a visit. If you are stupid enough to challenge them, you will be taken out in 3 seconds. It sounds like Ridley knows something we don't.
That's what I'm saying. And not only that, I mean, I agree to that. Like, do I think we've been visited? Yes. Do I think that they care? I mean, they could easily take us out in no time, and they would have a long time ago.
The next one, I mean, you got to think that maybe she does believe after all the time she spent talking about him on TV.
Yeah.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dana Scully on The X-Files. She said she spent 9 seasons investigating paranormal phenomena on the small screen, but does she believe in aliens? Her answer to that was, I do, to the degree that the universe is obviously vast, and the thought that we are the only planet full of living beings doesn't make sense. That doesn't necessarily mean there are aliens, but there could be. If we're talking about advanced civilization, that they'd be potentially further along than us is as conceivable as their existence, so I wouldn't rule it out.
I like how she put that. That's
so
pretty...
yeah, kind of makes sense.
Right.
And last, I think this is last. No, not last, but next. Whoops. I hit the
almost
wrong,
last.
Hit the wrong button. Now I'm all over the place here. Hold, please.
I have it right here.
We need some hold music.
You want me to tell you the name? I have it right here.
Katy Perry.
There you go.
There we go. Katy Perry. In a 2014 interview with GQ, pop star Katy Perry spoke about her wide range of beliefs. I see everything through a spiritual lens. I believe in a lot of astrology. I believe in aliens. I look up into the stars, and I imagine, how self-important are we to think we are the only life form? I mean, at the time, Perry said that she might even take her questions about alien life to then President Barack Obama. I mean, if my relationship with Obama gets any better, I'm going to ask him that question. So apparently she and Obama were tight.
I guess they were tight. I mean...
Whatever.
That tight, though?
Last one. God, another nitwit. Nick Jonas.
The Jonas Brothers.
Of the Jonas Brothers. In an interview with British talk show The Morning, singer Nick Jonas described his close encounter. Apparently he had a close encounter.
Okay, wow.
I was in my backyard in L.A. and looked up at the sky and saw 3 flying saucers. I looked at my friend and said, "Are you seeing this or am I losing my mind?" Jonas said he looked online and saw 3 similar reports from 2 weeks earlier. The U.S. Navy later claimed responsibility for the seemingly out-of-this-world display, saying the lights were from a Trident test missile, but Jonas has other ideas.
Number one, seeing 3 lights in the sky is not a close encounter. It's seeing 3 lights.
Yeah.
I mean, a close encounter, I was about to say, like, he was in the woods in some metallic space shuttle.
I kind of feel like a lot of these famous people, they're so used to attention that they just, I saw a light in the sky, therefore it's a UFO.
Right.
Quote me in your magazine.
They're like out there.
Because they want to be quoted in the alien conversation or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
There's Genevieve. Yeah, Jonas. Yeah, Jonas and the whale. You're a little drunk. Genevieve's a little drunk on wine. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Thanks, Jen. You didn't bring any for us here. You didn't get here. They're in Philly tonight. Oh, that's right. I did hear that. They're in Philly tonight. Somebody in my work is going. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, good for them, I guess.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
Yeah.
The tweens, Got to keep the tweens happy.
Exactly.
Talking
about the Jonas Brothers on Paradelphia, that just opened up a whole wide range of...
First time for everything.
Exactly.
All right, so anyway, we're going to get to our main topic of the night, these Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Right, very interesting.
So, this is a very strange story. So, the best article I think I found, if I can pull this up here, came from... if I have it here. No, it's not going to let me read it. Nope, yeah, it is. Hang on. Is it? Hang on. Hold, please. This is what happens when you do shit on your phone. um,
Call Steve Jobs.
Yeah, call Steve Jobs. My God. Oh,
Get him on the phone.
Oh, here we go.
Was it Live Science? Or no, wait, that was the last list. Never mind.
Here we go.
I'm looking at
The
wrong
Fresno Bee on October 19th, 2018 ran this story. Headlined Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and the Fresno Nightcrawler walking pants bring Fresno freaky fame. So,
Say that a couple times, best.
So Fresno says Fresno has a lesser-known claim to supernatural fame called the Fresno Nightcrawler. A mysterious being or puppet has reemerged in the imagination of many in this spooky season of Halloween, which it was at the time also.
Right.
First spotted on video surveillance footage more than a decade ago by a Fresno resident, the Fresno Nightcrawler, and again with the pop-up ads, first spotted on video surveillance by a decade ago, the Fresno Nightcrawler roughly resembled a pair of long white pants with a small head. Some consider it an alien, others a fun urban legend and an endearing addition to pop culture, but whatever it is, it's not as famous as the other debatable cryptids such as Bigfoot and the Chupacabra, who have developed quite the reputation.
Which you're right. I mean, unless you've heard it somewhere specific,
Yeah.
it's not as known. But
So a search for the Fresno Nightcrawler on YouTube produces a lot of videos that have been watched millions of times. One video in particular, which Mike, I believe I sent this one to you. If you want to cue this up, this is I believe it's one of the creators of a magazine called Weird Fresno, kind of like Weird New Jersey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's on there talking about the Fresno Nightcrawlers. And this is a little video segment. If you're listening on the podcast, you'll hear it. Again, more reason to watch the video online so you can actually see these things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Fresno's over 100 years old. It's starting to have its stories. And one night, cameras happen to capture these figures, these creatures, as some people call them. They're now called the Fresno Nightcrawlers. These two figures, maybe 18 inches, 24 inches tall, just kind of strolling across the guy's lawn late at night. That was the only time he ever saw them. Maybe 6 years later, back in 2011, but East Valley's Park, somebody said they saw the same things. Those look a little bit different than the Fresno video. They're a little bit taller and their movements are a little bit different. From that, there's been all these pictures drawn of, there's a lot of these cute pictures. I even saw a plushie once. Somebody actually made a plushie and they were selling it, I believe, on Etsy. Story kind of grew out of this little video that was shot 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago. I wrote about it 10 years ago. I think the video was maybe 15 years ago. And it's kind of just grown from there. My brain is telling me this was one video. It was 10 years ago. Nothing's really been seen since then. If they were an actual creature, why were they only seen once, and that was it? It's one of those weird stories, Weird Fresno. I mean, it's an urban legend now, really.
All right, so that was a guy named Michael Banty, who is founder of Weird Fresno. But he's not right about one thing. They weren't only seen once. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But what he talks about in this video and in this magazine article, he's talking about the fact that the walking crawlers, they're celebrated all over Fresno because everybody's got to have their monster, and this is theirs, I suppose.
Right.
But there's some strange different ideas about what they are. I mean, if you saw the video on the link we just put up and we played, you saw that there were these apparently about a foot or 2 feet tall creatures that kind of looked like either a pair of pants walking by itself or maybe like a clothespin walking, something along that line.
It can be described as many different things. I mean, it's very bizarre.
Yeah. So Banty said they remind him of, quote, fairy people, but could be an extraterrestrial insectoid, approximately 3 feet tall. Other people see pants, like I just said. So the idea is that maybe somebody's playing a hoax. Now, this video that was shot and shown in that video, that larger video, was taken from a camera posted in someone's front lawn, kind of like a Ring camera.
Mhm.
This was years before Ring became a thing, but apparently, people still had video cameras on their front lawn at the time for security or whatever, like closed caption. Or not closed, what do they call it? Closed circuit.
Closed circuit. Yeah,
Closed
yeah.
circuit
You don't hear
cameras.
that much anymore. Yeah.
And that's what these were captured on. And, it kind of obviously created a big stir. But the idea that they are a hoax, people were saying, well, people could have run a wire across their lawn, rigged it up with a pair of actual pants, and kind of jiggled them across the line. And
That's pretty.
I mean, yeah, they could have, I guess.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of work. I mean,
If you wanted to become, famous.
if you really had, like I said, if
for
you
a
had really had
cryptid?
a lot of time and you thought it out pretty good to come up with something like that, but
Yeah.
again, it would be like trying to come up with a way to make the Jersey Devil look like it's flying. I don't know. Or any place that has some kind of cryptid or that they're famous for. But this looks nothing like anything out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just got to be the most bizarre type thing that I've ever seen, to be honest.
So there's other articles about this talking about what this could possibly be. And there's an article that was posted in actually just last week, September 30th, 2021, on Ranker, talking about the Fresno Nightcrawlers and how they are actually not just seen in Fresno. So this guy, Michael Banty, said that they were just seen in Fresno, but that actually isn't true. And there's actually some other ideas about what they might be. So this article talks about the Nightcrawlers, talking about how the sightings began in the 1990s and have only occurred a few times since then. The strange beings are cryptids that look kind of like a pair of pants, but only a few feet high, and are seen just kind of wandering around. There are only a few eyewitnesses in Fresno, but the Nightcrawlers seem to pop up on other surveillance cameras, startling whoever checks the closed circuit TV tapes. So much of the footage of these creatures is easily debunked by video analysts. But the weird thing about the Nightcrawlers is the videos seem to be legit. According to the experts on the Sci-Fi Channel's Fact or Faked,
Right.
faking these mysterious creatures would prove to be a difficult task. So what exactly is on these tapes? No one is certainly entirely sure, but theorists propose the odd creature could be a ghost, could be aliens, a possessed pair of pants, which I guess that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or
Bell-bottom pants,
Yeah, or one of the weirdest hoaxes ever concocted. Nobody seems to know for sure.
Or is it interdimensional, like I believe Bigfoot might be?
Yeah. So
something that exists.
The Nightcrawlers, now they're saying the 1990s, but the Nightcrawlers video that we just showed you was from 2007. It was a homeowner in Fresno. They decided to set up a security camera above their garage. The guy who did this only went by the name Jose. So he obviously, if he did it as a hoax,
he would want to put his name on blast all over the place, right?
It's the same thing with like Bigfoot sightings or whatever. Like if you really want to be famous and you make a hoax out of it, or make it into a hoax,
right?
Why wouldn't you just go with it, just tell people your name and get on talk shows and podcasts and whatever? But these people don't do that, which to me is one of the most key pieces of evidence.
It makes it more credible.
That speaks to the fact that these things could in fact be real,
right? Because
again, why would you hoax something and then not take the credit for it?
At least to them. They're not guilty of hoaxing. Like, to them, there's something crazy that was captured on.
Right, but he didn't do anything illegal.
Right.
Like, if you do something illegal, okay, I get it. Maybe you don't want your name out there. But there's something like this, it's goofy, but it's not illegal.
No, exactly.
So anyway, Jose, he wanted to know why his dogs were barking at night, and in case there was an intruder or a strange animal lurking around, which is why he put the camera up. And what he saw the next day was enough to shock him into calling the police. Video showed a pair of strange small creatures a few feet high walked surreally across the screen, and the family members figured that these things are what had caused their dogs to start barking. So nobody could figure out what this was. One of the prevailing theories about these creatures is that they could be aliens. They move a little bit like people sometimes, but analysts think they are too small and too awkward to be human. Based on their appearance, they don't really resemble any known terrestrial creatures, any animals that we know of.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So one of the other theories is that these creatures could be something that was actually believed in by Native Americans.
Yeah, I remember you were saying that before the show. Yeah, that's
So one of the more interesting answers to many of the Nightcrawler questions actually has to do with local Native American legend. According to tribe members that live near Fresno, the Nightcrawlers are beings that have pretty much always lived on Earth, even before the human beings got there. According to the myths, the Nightcrawlers have long legs that allow them to move through difficult or boggy landscapes because they are swamp world beings.
makes sense.
Legend has it these beings are part of our world now in order to rebuild a connection between human beings and our natural surroundings, sort of a peace bringer, if you will.
Right.
While they don't, while they don't seem to have made any noticeable effort in doing this, the fact that the stories about them have existed for generations indicate that they might be nothing new to Fresno. So we talked about how they were seen in different places, and one of the places that they were seen in is in Yosemite National Park.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I don't think I did not send you this video. I don't know if you want to search for Nightcrawlers in Yosemite National Park. You'll probably get this video. But in March of 2011, Yosemite National Park, excuse me, park officials, wow, the one day I didn't bring water, were putting up cameras in an attempt to catch trespassers that had been damaging the property. Instead, what they caught was something rather unusual on the footage. The security cameras again captured images of pale, small, armless creatures just walking down one of the park paths. Again, once the media got a hold of the footage, the Fresno Nightcrawlers were on everyone's lips once more. The creatures appeared to be the same as the ones that had shown up in Fresno, and they appeared to walk and behave the same way. There were a handful of alleged sightings, but neither Yosemite nor Fresno had them show up anymore on security footage. One thing the viewers of these videos seem to agree on, regardless of what people say they are, is what the creatures look like. They seem to have bodies that get up to 4 feet in height, but not much taller, and one may have been less than 2 feet tall. So anywhere from a little under 2 to 4 feet tall.
Oh, well, see, they look, I mean, to me in the videos I've seen, they seem to look a little bit bigger, but then again, video makes things, it's hard to tell. But yeah, okay.
So it's kind of like a size of a toddler, maybe.
Right.
Nightcrawlers are pale in color, perhaps white, and have 2 small eyes, which people have found after some footage analysis. Above all, they are bipedal, which indicates, for all their strangeness, they are humanoid. This has led to the suggestion that they may just be people in costumes based on the fact that they walk like humans. They may also be some sort of mutant human, according to others, but their height and mannerisms contradict that notion, yet again leaving viewers to wonder about the origin of the Nightcrawler. Since then, meaning since the video, Nightcrawlers have been strangely quiet. There were no more spooky security footage tapes, and there were no actual encounters. Even though these things are pretty weird, they seem to be harmless. Nothing was ever damaged by them, and they didn't seem to hurt anyone. In fact, they didn't seem to be interested in making human contact at all. So if they were aliens, they were not out for a close encounter. Okay, on our video feed here on the video show, this is Mike showing the Nightcrawlers at Yosemite Park. Just kind of, there's no voiceover on this, but it's basically a shot from a CCTV camera.
It's crazy. It looks like, because the way we're looking at the ones coming from behind the tree, but the one looks like you have an adult one and a child one.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, just imagine, I mean, it does. It looks like either a clothespin or or what's a compass.
It looks like yeah, exactly. Like that you just go because and it looks like, because I'm trying to think, like, could that be somebody that maybe is dressed in something, but it literally looks like it's having a hard time keeping balance.
Yeah.
Like it's
due to the atmosphere.
Right. It's like,
just saying,
like on its tiptoes, trying to walk on its tiptoes and has no idea.
Now, apparently, some of these or most of these appear to travel in pairs. which is another tidbit about the Nightcrawlers that is kind of interesting. They are very rarely ever alone. Usually with Bigfoot and things like that, you see just one.
You always see just one, yeah.
You rarely see more than one. But these things seem to come in twos, maybe even threes.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like Doug was just saying, one of the videos, or a few of the videos, is showing that one is smaller than the other, perhaps a smaller version, perhaps a child, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's speculation. It's all speculation, So, this is the Fresno Nightcrawler. So I'm trying to... I'm not going to be able to pull this up. That's all right. We got enough of this here. So, basically, these things are very strange. And, again, we'll post links in the show notes to the videos and some pictures and whatnot of these things for anybody that did not watch the video show on YouTube and Twitter and such. But
you can always go back and watch the replay, though.
Yeah. But aside from camera footage, I would be kind of curious to see, and I know Doug does the investigations for jumps. I'm not saying these things are ghosts, but they're definitely strange.
Right.
I'd be kind of curious to see a paranormal investigation done in the area where these things frequent.
Right.
Maybe even, it's hard to tell when they're going to show up.
It not only that, especially where they've, just going back and, looking at it when they were captured, what was the atmosphere like, weather, what was going on at that specific time,
Well, I was thinking more like residual.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
I don't want to say DNA, but, anything residually that was left.
Right, and that's, exactly. That's, I see what you mean. Like, did they leave anything behind?
Yeah.
I meant...
Where they walked.
Right, and that's the thing. And that's, in a sense, kind of what I mean. Like, going back and just looking at the day that it appeared and anything, was there anything different, something off, or, again, weather or atmosphere, one thing, but then, like you said, just kind of seeing if there was anything left behind in a way. There's a lot of things to do to test. Like, it would be interesting to know. It's been a while now, of course, but I don't know. Again, like I said, this is so different from Bigfoot, and maybe because, again, you don't hear about it more like as much as you do with Bigfoot,
right? Or
even people encountering or saying they were, had an experience or an encounter with like a gray alien or whatever. It is very unique in its own way. I can't get over it. Just
and they're saying they're not.
I don't have words.
They're saying they're not dangerous, which
it's like they're cruising. It's just like they're taking a walk.
Yeah, but they're basing the idea they're not dangerous on the fact that they haven't actually harmed anyone that anybody knows of.
But there's only been like a couple sightings.
Yeah, like if these things are real,
it's like a field trip.
If they're really aliens or whatever. You don't know that. You don't know where they are, how many there are. You saw what you saw on the video footage on a space that was maybe, 100 yards wide?
Not big at all.
So they didn't hurt anybody in the space of 100 yards when they walked through it at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it doesn't mean that these things aren't doing something
exactly
to someone.
Not only that, remember years ago we had, what was his name? That one gentleman in here, and he was, or that was back when we were, at the other old Toxic studio. But he came in and he wrote a book, and it was based off of they communicated or whatever with an extraterrestrial species who claim they come here and they visit. Like, we're kind of like a zoo to them.
Oh, yeah.
And,
he saw these, like he could see in a different light spectrum.
Oh, exactly. So it's kind of like, again, when you look at these cameras, hence why when we investigate, we use full spectrum cameras and we use infrared and all these different types of cameras so we can see in all spectrums of light. Could it be a situation like that where you see these videos, they're just walking around, just taking a stroll? Is it, are they just visiting like, hey, kid, let's take a walk in the zoo of Earth today or something, Yeah,
that idea, we've talked about that idea a lot.
A million times,
on the show,
a whole bunch
of the years.
Right.
We see in the human light spectrum.
Right.
So what we see is what we see, but we also don't see everything. We can't see in UV. We can't see in gamma rays. We can't see, if you spread the light spectrum out across in front of you and it ran, let's say, a foot from one side to the other, the area that we can actually see in might be a couple of inches in the middle.
Exactly.
And you have all this other space and all these different light spectrums that we cannot see with our human eyes.
That's why, again, one of the cameras I have that I'll set up with the other night vision cameras is a full spectrum camera.
Yeah.
And if something does appear, some kind of apparition or some kind of energy appears in it, it'll show up as a purple, like, haze view.
Yeah.
Because it's helping us. It's that camera is taking it and transitioning it so we can obviously see with our own eyes on the screen. But, again, like you said, there are about a infinite amount of things to see and all different, but we're only seeing like 1% of it, so who knows.
So the Fresno Nightcrawler. So if you want to learn more about it, again, we'll post some links on our show notes, and you can dig into it yourselves. Or
if you just want to laugh, I mean, it's funny watching them tiptoe across the
solve a mystery this Halloween.
Tiptoe across being that for Halloween. Let's see how that works out.
All right, so we're getting toward the end of the show, but before we wrap up here, I did want to do a couple more things. I want Doug to talk a little bit about a couple of ghost walks that he went. One he went on recently, and one that's actually coming up.
Right. Well, this past last Saturday night, we had the Mullica Hill Ghost Walk, and this was like the 6th or 7th year that we've taken part in. And I'll tell you what, this year was. I mean, they all are awesome. I mean, this year was just. It was very. We had a lot of people come up. We were set up at Old Town Hall, which is the last stop of the group. We had a lot of people approach us, and we always get people bringing pictures up of orbs and different things like that. But one in particular is around like 9 o'clock at night, and there was a 10-year-old girl. In fact, if anybody listening, if you go to our the Jumps Jersey Unique Minds Paranormal Society Facebook page, I posted it. Yesterday, 2 photos. There was a 10-year-old girl. She came up. Actually, I think she came up to Melly and showed her this picture, and then she showed me. So there's one of the stops was called the Ashcraft House, and it's all dark. Nobody lives there. She was trying to take a picture of it, and where it was so dark, she was unsuccessful. So as the tour group went to walk away, this 10-year-old girl with her phone went to take one more picture of it. Nobody's in front, next to her, or anything. Everybody's behind her walking away, and she captures, it looks like a woman with long hair standing right next to her. It's the most unbelievable. Like I said, I posted it on our Facebook page, but I know we don't have much time, but I don't know if you had a chance to see it yet.
I have not.
If you look, if you can kind of look, does not like. Yeah. Looks like a woman with her hair, like standing next to her. Well, nobody was next to her or anything.
Yeah,
and
if you send that to me, I'll post that with the show notes.
Right, and then and not only that, not long after that, she took one more photo. She was trying to take a picture of her friend, and her friend was like running, and in the background, peeking over again. This is all on the page. We'll post it, but in the background, peering over bushes.
Oh, wow.
It looks like, I mean, it's kind of like a distorted type of figure.
Looks like a person, though.
But it looks like a person peeking over these bushes.
Like a woman, yeah.
And this was all in this area. So, like, I mean, people were giving us pictures that were, interesting, looked like there were reflections in windows. I mean, it was very different than other years. I mean, but all in all, it was great. I had a great time. October 22nd, which is, I think 2 Saturdays or 2 Fridays from now. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
whatever.
It's
October 22nd.
October 22nd. We have the Ghost Walk of Market Street, Salem, New Jersey. Tickets are on sale if you go to Facebook. Again, Jump's Facebook page, or Rick, I'll give you the information. Tickets are on sale for that. We'll be set up at Johnson Hall, another location we investigated in the past, and doing a presentation also. But yeah, cool. Definitely again. October.
And I saw Jenna be posting online here. We'll post them on the show notes. It's hard to get the camera picture on camera here, so
right.
You're gonna have to wait, Jen. I know you're drunk, so you're gonna have to wait till you sober up and then check the show notes later.
And and we got a lot of leads too. So we got one investigation definitely we're gonna be doing, and a couple more I'm setting up. So yeah, it opened up a lot of big stuff now that COVID's, since controlled, I guess. Whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so.
All right, so next thing I want to talk about, and I can call our fearless leader, Mr. Toxic Mike, on camera here for this one. The network is doing a big tailgate party at an Eagles game coming up in about a month. About a month.
Yeah, that's a
month from today.
Pretty
actually.
much a month exact from today, November 7th. I got to get my butt into gear. I've got too many things I'm doing. It's just crazy. But we've done this before. Rick, you've been a part of it. Doug, you've been a part of it. We just sometimes, here at Toxic, we just like to have fun. We don't need a reason. We don't need, a sponsor. We don't need some outside force saying to do something. We just do it because it's fun.
You tell us to do it, so you're going to tar and feather us in a public square.
Well, I do it because it's fun. You do it because I tell you that.
Show up or you're fired.
Right.
But no, so we're doing a tailgate, and our tailgates are always fun. We invite every single one of the shows to come out and kind of promote themselves. We do a live broadcast. We do giveaways with the prize wheel. We play music. We're going to have zip-up hoodies, T-shirts as giveaways this year, which we don't normally do almost ever. Rick's got one of them. He didn't even have to go to the tailgate. He just got one.
See
he
that?
Came in and took one.
He tailgated someone.
And it's got the back.
Oh,
yes,
my
we
God.
got the back on him again.
All right, looks like I need to rob Mike after the show.
We haven't had that in years since it was Toxic Network Radio. Ooh,
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day. I think Rick had one of those too.
I did.
But no, we have a blast. We have such a good time. There's going to be food. There might be alcohol, but that's just for us.
Who's Al?
We're going to be out there very early. The game's going to be the Chargers and the Eagles. We're going to be at the link. We have not announced what lot we're going to be in. I have a few ideas, but I just want to get with other people to make sure that we are solid with what lot we're going to be in. But just mark your calendars. Come out, party with us, have some fun. Maybe we will even throw you on air and come get some free stuff. I mean, who doesn't want to come out to a tailgate, have some fun, drink some beers, eat some food, and get free stuff?
Food and swag.
And get
Food,
tarred and
and
feathered.
swag.
And get tarred and feathered in a public square.
And meet all of the great Jesus. Meet all the great hosts and personalities from Toxic. Mr. Entertainment and ProStar are going to be there. They're from the Entertainment Experience. John Evans from Relationships 101. Maybe you can get relationships advice while you're at the tailgate. At the tailgate.
Right. Part of it is my girlfriend didn't want to come to the game, and I forced her, and now she's mad. What do I do? Yeah.
And our brand new Eagles only podcast that broadcasts every single Friday and has, I think, 2 episodes up on the app right now, podcasts that they just start brand new called Birds Deep.
All right.
We'll be out there broadcasting live. And this is something I haven't said yet because he said he'll do it, but he might back out. So tentatively, we might have Supreme, the Resurrecta, from the Funky Contradiction, perform
Oh, wow.
at the tailgate.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Don't hold me to that,
Nice.
but it's a possibility.
Hey, now.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And I'm not saying there's going to be strippers, but I'm not saying there's not.
I'm going to say that last time there were strippers. I'm dead serious.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, the strippers. There's a lot of strip clubs around the sports complex, and strippers will come out to the tailgate to hand out their swag.
Yeah.
They're just looking for free shit.
Well, the strippers saw our swag, and they pulled out their swag, and
and you know what happened?
We exchanged.
You
swag.
had a stripper pull their swag out? That's not.
Yeah.
Listen, Mike, we got to talk. That's
Well, they
not
pulled
nice.
out their swag before I pulled out my
Okay,
swag.
well, that's good. At least it's a mutual
I just
thing.
want to make sure that
All
that's
At least it was consensual.
Everyone's swags come out together.
So there might be a lot of swag flying all over the place from toxic personalities and from strippers.
Hey,
And apparently Genevieve's going to twerk.
And I put that up there just so it's on record that she said this.
Doug, this is your sister. I'll let you deal with that.
That's why I'm looking at the lights.
And
Yeah.
she's asking for the wine. But yes, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Please come out and have some fun with us. You won't regret it. And Laura, my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend, just hopped in at the time where she heard me say that who pulled out what.
Mike, I don't know how long we got to keep. We've told you for the last 10 minutes to stop talking about pulling shit off. Can we get back to our show now?
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Oh, my God.
And if Toxic Radio could get $100,000 worth of donations at the tailgate, I will run on the field at some point, get arrested naked.
Wow. All right.
This. See what
I
happens.
swear to God, if Toxic raises $100,000, it's got to be my bail money.
It just right at the you kept it so straight and narrow the whole entire hour up until this time.
That's what happens.
Put that out there.
Goes off the rails.
But yeah, so come out, have some fun, and who knows? Maybe you could take a picture with Rick himself, and he'll sign it for you.
Haven't done an autograph in a while.
No, that was since the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap things up. But again, before we go, I want to remind you guys to look for us on social media. We are at Paradelphia on Twitter. Look up Paradelphia on Facebook. And at Toxic Radio Live on Twitter. You can find Toxic Radio on Facebook as well, on Instagram. I think they're all over the place. They're on any funky app that your 12-year-old might have. Mike's got Toxic on there.
All the funkiness. Just look Toxic Radio Live.
And I can't believe this whole episode, I forgot to mention this. I screenshotted it. I got a scam likely call at 9:30 this morning from Roswell, New Mexico.
Dun, dun, dun.
I had to screenshot it anyway.
All right.
I'm saving that one. So, anyway.
All right. So, Doug, we're going to tune in next week to find out if Doug was abducted by aliens that called him first.
Why they would want me to come to Roswell? Yeah.
They
Can
said,
we abduct you, man?
They said, Doug, open your window tonight.
Yeah. Do you know Mike? He recommended you.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have a great week.
Oh, yeah.
We will be back probably in 2 weeks with another show getting toward the spookiest night of the year, Halloween.
Then Thanksgiving.
And we're not going to talk about the New Year.
Jumping the gun. Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's been a fun night. Thank you guys for taking part. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. We are Paradelphia, and once again, we are out of here.